The summer air shatters without warning. Against the ancient pine canopy, local hunters brace as an invisible force flattens the valley. They watch the horizon bleed violet, tracking the silent cataclysm as the northern ridge collapses into a synchronized radial pattern. Weeks later, Imperial surveyors decode the frantic transmissions. Inside the dim governorate office, maps blur beneath urgent fingers as the unprecedented atmospheric shockwave data finally registers. The magnetic needle steadies, pointing toward a caravan routes give way to military patrols navigating the ash-choked riverbanks. Cossack riders lean into the saddle, scanning the flattened spruce canopies that stretch toward the northern plateau. Their woolen coats whip in the wind as they trace the radial destruction outward. Academic halls soon echo with urgent debating. Tsarist researchers gather around stone tables, correlating seismic drum recordings with ancient tectonic fault lines. Gaslight flickers across their intense faces as they attempt to quantify an anomaly that defies conventional terrestrial explanation. Civil war fractures the empire, yet the scarred wilderness remains untouched. White army scouts march through snow-dusted pines, consulting weathered charts that mark the blast zone. The northern plateau holds its secrets patiently, waiting for a more peaceful age of discovery. New rails are hammered into the frozen earth, tracing the perimeter of the devastation. Red Army engineers measure displacement angles along the newly laid tracks, their grim focus sharpened by the lingering mystery. The forest canopy still leans inward, frozen in time. Soviet laboratories soon adopt the mystery as their own. Geophysicists monitor continuous pressure drums, correlating atmospheric waves with known cosmic trajectories. The red needle trembles, then locks onto the marked coordinates, guiding it. A decade later, bold explorers finally penetrate the snapped timber wilderness. Kulik's team navigates the radial forest, pointing toward the central crater basin. Their heavy boots press into moss-covered ground as they witness the colossal scale of the atmospheric anomaly firsthand. Local trappers observe the fallen perimeter from the Lena tributaries. Weathered hunters grip wooden shafts, gazing toward the skeletal sentinels where trees stand as frozen monuments. The radial destruction radiates outward, a silent testament to forces far beyond. Leningrad scientists soon mapped the botanical devastation with meticulous precision. Among the snapped spruce trunks, researchers calculate blast displacement angles using wooden measuring tapes. Dappled light filters through the broken canopy, illuminating the geometric perfection of the flattened wilderness. Winter brings archival silence, yet the search continues. Inside the Moscow Institute, paleontologists examine soil, strata samples, correlating blast debris with ancient impact layers. Fluorescent light catches their focused expression. Military precision soon overlays the scientific curiosity. Draftsmen in the Siberian district calculate radial debris distribution across massive steel tables. Halogen glow reflects off brass instruments as they engineer survey lines that trace the invisible geometry of the ancient impact. The war years demand aerial reconnaissance over the scarred taiga. Aviators review mission parameters beside leather flight bags, calculating atmospheric entry trajectories above the flattened forest. Dawn light spills across biplane wings, casting long shadows over the enduring mystery. The atomic age redefines the scale of cosmic violence. Novosibirsk researchers examine energy yield models, correlating blast radius with meteoritic impact theories. Copper wiring hums in the lead-lined lab as they realize terrestrial forces alone cannot explain the devastation. Decades pass, and tectonic studies shift toward the Baikal Rifty. Field directors examine fracture samples on granite outcrops, calculating displacement angles against mountain winds. The compass needle steadies, pointing unerringly toward the coordinates that have haunted researchers for generations. The space race brings orbital perspectives to terrestrial mysteries. Cosmonaut trainers simulate atmospheric entry trajectories, correlating blast data with cosmic impact models. Control dials shift under steady hands as analysts trace the distant plateau ridge where the ancient forest. International delegates finally converge to formalize the cosmic consensus. Inside a Vienna hall, meteorological experts deliver unified impact reports, calculating trajectory parameters across polished podiums. Stage lighting catches their diplomatic intensity as the expanded text. Modern extraction technology now penetrates the frozen permafrost with unprecedented precision as operators carefully monitor particulate extraction, correlating ancient debris with known impact layers. Metal levers shift beneath insulated gloves. Orbital scanning transforms remote sensing into precise cartography. Engineers process multispectral readouts across glass monitor desks, calculating blast displacement angles from hundreds of miles above. Screen glow illuminates their focused faces. Today, quantum resonance surveys illuminate the final fragments of the puzzle. Modern directors examine data tablets beside scarred wilderness terrain, correlating blast radius with cosmic theories. The compass rests in a steady palm, its needle